The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Supporters of COMELEC Commissioner Rowena Guanzon flocked to the Manila Cathedral in time for the 7:30 in the morning Mass. This after her recent statements regarding the pending release of the COMELEC First Division's ruling on the 3 disqualification cases against presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos. Let's get the latest on this. Greg Gregorio is joining us live from Manila. Greg, good morning. Can you give us and describe to us the situation there?
Risa, all of the supporters of Commissioner Rowena Guanzon have already left the vicinity, but they have mentioned that their event today was in support of Commissioner Guanzon's stand for honor and excellence, as Guanzon repeatedly point out her statement again against the pending release of the COMELEC's First Division's ruling regarding the 3 disqualification cases filed versus presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos. According to Guanzon, she thinks that this delay is a conspiracy to discount or not include her vote, as she is already retiring from office come February 2. Riza?
Greg, do we have an estimate on the number of people that were there at the Manila Cathedral to attend the Mass with COMELEC Commissioner Guanzon earlier?
Risa, there were only around 10 individuals, including some sisters of the Daughters of Charity of St. Paul and a number of individuals. According to Sister Lisa of the Daughters of Charity, they were expecting more individuals, but amid the ongoing alert level 3 in the National Capital Region, they just perceived that people are indeed taking caution, though they would want to join their effort today. And we've also received a statement from them that they did not make a mass advisory for this because they are also implementing some caution amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Riza?
Greg, what were the latest pronouncements, if there's any, from the COMELEC Commissioner, again, after, of course, attending that Mass?
Riza, after the Mass, Commissioner Guanzon mentioned that she really thinks that this is a conspiracy to invalidate or not include her vote, as she has earlier mentioned that she's voting for the disqualification of aspirant Bongbong Marcos, as according to her, based on the substantial evidence admitted in relation to the petitions, Bongbong Marcos was clearly convicted for a crime involving moral turpitude. And according to Guanzon, it is their job in the Commission on Elections to allow people to vote freely, but it is also their job to stop those individuals who are not qualified to run for a certain position, more so of the presidential seat in the government. Riza?
Greg, did she disclose her plans for today and tomorrow, or perhaps, her last day as COMELEC Commissioner?
Riza, Guanzon earlier mentioned that she prayed for Commissioner Amy Ferolino, who is the ponente of the COMELEC First Division's resolution in subject. And according to Guanzon, she prayed that Ferolino would release the resolution today. And according to her, this even without this resolution, she will be issuing her separate opinion on this case, and she will be coursing it through the Office of Director James Jimenez for the media for all of the media to have it and release it to the public. And according to Guanzon, she will also inform COMELEC Chairman Sharif Abbas about a certain individual whom she thinks or certain entity whom she thinks is behind the delay of the release of the resolution, which is supposed to be released by Commissioner Amy Ferolino. Riza?
Thank you for that update. That's Greg Gregorio reporting live from Manila. Now, authorities have launched an investigation after a grenade was discovered at the Enforcement and Security Service Office of the Bureau of Customs on Friday. This comes after another explosive device was thrown at the parking lot of the Manila Arena. Now, no casualties have been reported following the incident. But because of these incidents, the Manila Police District has increased surveillance in the city.
Ito ay na-discover lang, hindi ito tinapon, kundi na-discover lang. Responde yung ating tinatawag na MPD, K9, and yung ating EOD doon sa kung saan nga gumawa sila safety detonated yung ating natagpo ang granada doon. At dahil nga dyan, talaga natin at utos ng ating district director at triple natin yung dami ng checkpoint natin dito sa Maynila. Diba? Para ma-identify natin kung sino itong mga sinasabi natin gumagawa dito.
In other news, countries across the globe continue to deal with the plastic waste crisis. With that, several groups have started to find ways to help solve the problem. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro gives us a front seat to the story.
Did you notice last year's Christmas wasn't as cold as the ones before? Well, scientists say that's one of the signs of global warming. Add to that the numerous freak storms that have been hitting us off-season the past few years. And one of the contributors to global warming? Plastic. Tons of plastic waste being burned during disposal, releasing dangerous greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
So it's so basic, but I guess it goes back to how all of us individually will contribute to something. And we just have to decipher if I am the problem or I am the solution. So,
and if you're willing to be part of the solution, here's something you can do at home. They're called eco-bricks. First, get that empty plastic soda bottle. Make sure they're clean and dry. Second, get that empty plastic bag, wrapper, or any plastic that would fit in the mouth. Fill the bottle with it as much as you can. And there you go. You made one eco-brick. After segregating, you can give your eco-bricks to plastic recycling organizations like the PLAF or the Plastic Flamingo, which they shred and turn into eco-lumbers.
So eco-lumbers naman, they are, we could say, a sustainable alternative to wood, or they could be great building materials for decking, fencing, and other non-load-bearing projects.
The eco-bricks are cute, but the PLAF also accepts all sorts of plastic. In fact, Alison Tan, their marketing head, said, online shopping bags make up the majority of the plastics they receive every month. These eco-lumbers are then turned into either furnitures like tables or chairs or materials for construction. You give it to them through their drop-off points in Metro Manila, which you can find in their social media.
Segregate your waste pa rin, because who knows, there are some cities here, not even in the metro, but in provinces, they segregate their waste, they bring it to the barangay or to the garbage area. And their LGU pala, they have a recycling or they have a waste system that they have. So who knows, maybe simply by segregating, I think that can become a good action.
In 2021, the United Nations issued a red alert warning that nations all over the world are not doing enough to address global warming. And if this doesn't change, scientists say that in 10 years, there would be a devastating rise in global temperature and sea level. There are also other plastic recycling organizations you can opt to, like My Basurero or Green Ants Builders. The point is, there's always an alternative, and the act of segregating itself already goes a long way, especially if you influence others. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, we are One News.
The CBCP says they will no longer accept donations from industries involved in environmental destruction. These so-called destructive industries include companies involved in coal and fossil gas projects, logging, quarrying, and destructive mining. CBCP President Bishop Pablo Virgilio David says sins against the environment are also sins against God. Bishops will implement this measure in their respective dioceses. Now, David also encouraged parish priests to be critical and to not compromise their responsibility for the environment for the needs of the church. The CBCP also wants to see a candidate in the upcoming elections who will give importance to environmental protection.
May marami tayong mga pangangailangan sa ating pastoral work. Medyo wag naman nating ikokompromiso ang ikabubuti ng ating kapaligiran. No? Oo, makita mo naman na nagdo-donate sila pero destructive naman yung kanilang industry sa ating kapaligiran, sa ating kalikasan. That is very contradictory sa ating misyon. Kasalanan din sa Diyos ang paglapastangan sa ating kalikasan.
The Manila LGU canceling all public activities due to COVID-19. Residents of Binondo are expecting muted Chinese New Year festivities. But this did not stop revelers from doing some last-minute shopping for treats and lucky charms. Camille Samonte with the details.
Many people flocked to Binondo, Manila last weekend to buy some charms and treats ahead of the Chinese New Year. Along Ompin Street, traditional Chinese treats like tikoy are selling like hotcakes from 65 to 250 pesos per box. Many shoppers also bought round and citrus fruits, which they say attract wealth in the new year. There were also quite a number of people buying lucky charms and feng shui cures. Prosperity baskets are priced at 1,500 pesos each, while others like the lucky hanging tiger is sold at 3 for 100 pesos. They believe these would enhance their luck and counter misfortunes during the year of the water tiger.
Yung nabili ko yung mga display sa may pintuan, tapos yun nga yung inutos ng boss ko na prosperity, saka yung pangontra sa year of, kasi year of the monkey siya, so kailangan yung kontrahin yung year of the tiger. So yearly yan na talagang bumibili siya.
Saan ito nilalagay?
Mostly office.
Yung mga malagkit, ganyan. Oo. Tapos yung kung ano yung year na lumalabas, yun ang nilalagay namin sa paghanda. Pampaswerte para malay mo, swertehin tayo. Sunod na lang tayo kung ano yung mga pamahiin ba. Sunod na lang, baka mamaya mabigyan din tayo ng swerte.
Aside from buying charms and fruits, plenty of people also visited Binondo for a food crawl. Despite of the increased activity, some vendors said they have yet to recover from the impact of the pandemic to their sales.
Nakakabenta kahit papano, pero hindi kagaya nung nakarang walang pandemic, ganyan, walang celebration. Pag may celebration, mabenta siya. Pero ngayong may pandemic, tapos kanselado yung celebration, pakonti-konti lang yung benta namin.
Generally speaking, the public could expect a toned-down celebration of the Chinese New Year in Binondo this year. This after the Manila LGU canceled all public activities due to COVID-19. Pre-pandemic, Binondo is known for gatherings, parades, dragon dances, and firework displays on Chinese New Year's Eve.
Malungkot kasi nung last namin dito kami sa Laylay Hotel. Nag-check-in kami dyan para to see the dragon dance, mga ganon. So ngayon, wala talaga. That's because of the pandemic.
Like the Manila LGU, the Health Department is also urging the Filipino-Chinese community to stay at home and celebrate the New Year safely. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 2 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.